Okay, what's a D? All right, so hey Jay, so what I've got here is I got 24 items of video, but honestly, they're very repetitive and the points are pretty much the same. I hope I don't overtalk this because it's pretty straightforward. First off, Jaden is an incredible player, one of the most talented in the entire state of Georgia. Okay, please, don't ever forget that, Jay, like how ridiculously good you are. There's a reason you're playing for the state ODP team. Okay, it's the best players in the state. All right. So let's keep all that in mind and look at this. So the main thing I want to talk about is positioning for you. Okay. Where are you on the field and how can we maximize your talent? Okay. When you do simple things like stay high in the center of the field, occupying their center back. When the ball comes to you here, from Kinty, for example, set center back, he's got to be aware of where you are. Right? You started high and you read the play and came back to the ball before he did. Now, as he marches towards you, you notice, you can see that. What great vision. Boom. What a clever touch. I cannot believe this was not a goal. Tristan doesn't get to the ball, takes a big touch, and doesn't get there. And oh my gosh, it's such a waste. Gabe's in the back post, like his defender's down. Oh, this should have been a goal. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna get sad if I talk about it too much, but here's what I'll say. All this happened because you were high and then came back to the ball. I'm gonna stress this. You didn't start low, you started high and came back to the ball. That's the difference here. Okay. So look over here. Let's watch a similar kind of play here, but different kind of result. Now look here. Here's Joseph. Here you are low. You're already here in this space low. Okay. Now our players are good. They're going to do some cool things. And Joseph manages to break a great pass here to Caden. That's gorgeous. What a turn. Opens up, drives, and now he's looking for you, and you're running away. All Caden can see is your back. Because rather than starting high by this guy, okay, and Caden may be able to like lob the ball over the top, Caden's got to decide, okay, do I try to feed it to your feet here? What do I do with it now? Because you're kind of in an in-between space. Okay, maybe if you just sat here and offered him a pass, maybe that would have worked. But at very least, if you'd been higher here, we would have more of a shot with this. So looking at the ball coming in, he tries to slide you in, but again, you're running away from him because you're not high enough yet. The is kind of standing there and then can intercept it. Okay, so again, positioning got to be higher. Over here, same thing. Look here. When you're low, you can see you here. You're finding space. There's the center back. Okay. And it is nice to find a pocket of space, but center forward is different. Okay. Either way, if you're in this pocket of space, Carson's going to play this ball. You should never wait. You got to be head on the swivel, know where this guy is, know where that center back is. Okay. And I find it's easier if you start next to him. But even if you're there, if as long as you come back to this ball, you would have gotten it. Instead, what happens is the ball's off the line a little bit, and then you finally, oh, where is he? Too late. He's stepping him at full speed, and you're just starting to get physical with him, but it's too late. Also, he's just a big dude, so it's hard to be physical with him. But here's what I'll tell you is if you were already right here, if you were on this guy's hip when this ball got played into space, you could have bodied him and kept positioning on him and won this ball, turned, played Tristan in like you had on the last play. But instead, because you're low, right, and you don't know where he is because you don't have a hand on him, he can just run around you and get in front of that ball. Okay? So again, if you're gonna be low, which you can be, come back to the ball more maybe. Okay? But I prefer you stay high and then come back to the ball. And I hope that that makes sense to you. All right? Let me show you some more examples here. All right, so here's Tristan playing center forward. Okay, we got a nice no look cross there from Mavi, switching the play. And here comes Gabe. But look where Tristan is. All right, he knows that he's onside on his own half. He can't be offside on his own half. So he gets behind the center back. And I don't know for the life of me how Gabe didn't make this pass harder and get this pass through. We should have won this game. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, somehow he gets a toe on it. But either way, right? Tristan's in a great position. Gabe's in a great position. This all happens because he stays high. Okay? It's a very lonely, and sometimes you don't get a lot of touches on the ball position, but it's the most important one for us offensively. You got to be there. Okay? So let's look at it this way. All right. Here you are, high. All right. and the guy comes back to the ball and gets in here. And what I want to say is this. This happens sometimes. Sometimes he's going to beat you to the ball, and that's okay because you started high. But here's the deal. When the ball comes in here and the ball pops up, everyone on my team gets so kicky. Like, what is this? Maybe we're just doing too many sombreros before practice to practice that. Because then what I would say here is, as soon as this guy comes here, you should be getting your hips between him and that ball and turning it like this. You need to get hip to hip with that guy, turn him, win the ball, get your body between him and the ball, and take it. Instead, we try to do this outrageous kick, which doesn't work. Now he gets his body between you and the ball, gets the ball under control and turns. This is what you should have done. Okay? And this is something I try to practice with you guys, getting the ball under control, okay? Out of the air. We do this a lot. But that's the difference between high level players who are successful and high level players who struggle is that the decision to get the ball on the ground and use your body and your physicality. You are a strong dude, Jay, and you're fast. Do it. So look right here. Again, this opened the game. What a ball from Caden. Caden made so many delicious passes this past weekend. But look, boom, here you are. You feel this guy. I know you do, right? Go shoulder to shoulder. Shrug him off. Don't let him get hands on you and slow you down. You got to go into, you got to lean into him, put your arm out, drive him off, or better yet, as soon as you can, cut across his body. Like if you'd run this way diagonally across him, he would have had to foul you, and then he would have run in if he didn't. Okay? Or at the very least, get shoulder to shoulder with him. Like get your shoulder, his shoulder, boom, bump him back out the way, and then you're on your way. Okay? But you just can't assume you're faster than everybody. These are the best teams in the state of Florida, guys. Like this is something you can't just do. GSA won't just let you run past them. You gotta be more physical. You already feel him pushing on you. Push him back. Get your distance and then finish. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this wasn't a goal. Oh, Jay, you worked very hard this tournament, but I hope you know that I appreciate that and I know that about you. You worked so hard for it. But it's small things that are keeping you from finding success at this top level. Again, what we do will work against any B level team, but these A level teams, it has to be detailed. Okay, look right here. Where should you be? Here's Timmy. He's playing you this ball, right? And because you're back here in this pocket, right? When Timmy plays the ball, he plays it here. There's a defender in the way. If you were here, higher up, Timmy plays this ball here, boom, you're through. It's a different kind of game. If you stay high and find those back shoulder runs on those center backs, right? But either way, here you get the ball here. I would just say try to do less moves, bud. Like when you get one-on-one, these defenders are now getting good enough. They're going to jockey properly. You're not going to get much. You could kind of maybe stand that center back up and then try to slide in Tristan or try to slide in Gabe would probably be a better option here. But that should have gotten us something there too. All right, over here. We see you here. Again, you should be, that's their center back, number 7. Receiving the ball, boom, controlled, touch, all without your pressure. I think you'd gone out wide to help with something you shouldn't have. And so now you're out of position. So the punt comes in. We got no body on their center back. Like this is like think of basketball, rebounding 101. You got to get your body on somebody. You got to find someone on their team and box them out. You got to do that and early. I'll show you kind of more examples of it here. So here, here's their center back. Throw comes to you. Nice play from him. Now, look at you get in front of him. You can do this all the time, but here's the difference. You should be getting in front of this guy right here and getting your hips like a wall between him and that ball, controlling it, dropping it to Carson, who rips a shot, or turning it in and you rip a shot. Like that should be body him up, make a pass, make a shot, make a cross. Like there's something there if you do it, okay? But instead, it gets kicky. We go karate chop with it. What is that? What is that kick supposed to do? Right? Nothing. Nothing. And we lose it. You kick it towards 2 defenders. We got 2 people behind us. You got to think body between him and the ball, find my teammates, or find the goal. Okay? Let's look at another example here. All right, so here I like you being high. The ball comes in. That's Gabe's dude. That's the right back. Watch this. You come back to help get the ball back from the right back. But here's the problem. If we win it, which we do here technically, right? Boom, we win it. It goes right to their center back, and we don't have anybody on him. You gotta let people take their people. That's Gabe's guy. By you coming in to help, it does win us the ball, but when it gets to the center point there, there's no one on that center back to stop that play, right? You gotta understand your job. Your job in this offense, in this defense, is to stay high and be a target. You are a target man. We're trying to find you with the ball at all times. Okay? Now, here's what I'll say. There is one moment I'm okay with you coming in low, and that is these out of bounds plays, okay? Where the ball is stopped. All right, because here's why. These center backs, they see the threat of the winger. So when it's a stop ball, right, the center back will inch this way because he's worried about Tristan going this way. He doesn't want that throw into that space, so he'll edge this way, and it'll give you some freedom here. Okay? And that is great. So when the ball's out and you're here, boom, look at that. How pretty, how beautiful. Tristan, slide, my guy. Slide. Gabe's right there. Like, oh my gosh. So many opportunities we just threw away. What a ball from you, by the way. But again, I don't mind you on inbounds plays if we do that. Okay. So here again, you should be higher up. You're not. And look here, I don't mind you being lower on the inbounds, but look, this shouldn't be the run you're making. You should understand why run at the defender. That's the center back, right? Sit here. Let the ball come to you. Turn. Boom. You play in Mason, then we're scoring. Like you on inbounds like this, on those throw-ins, definitely get separation. I want you away from people on those. Okay? And so either way, you make that run to the corner because Gabe, he likes to run it, but again, nothing is going to happen there. That center back's in too good a position. Okay, continuing here. Again, inbounds play. Here's where I like you being a little bit deeper on those. Because now, if Gabe gets the ball here, you'll notice that their center back, again, I mentioned this, the center back is worried that over the top ball will go to Gabe. So he slides over. Their center back should be here. He slid over here. What does that mean? It created a huge pocket of space for your delayed run in here. And Gabe, I give him all the credit in the world. This is the best pass of the weekend for me. Caden has some lovely ones, but look at this. Look at that. Fake move, touch into your path, touch from you. What a touch. And I love this. That's a striker's finish right there. Defender's coming across. Let me just get a toe on it into that corner. I mean, dude, beautiful, beautiful finish. Okay, but that's what I'm talking about. In the normal trend of play, I want you high. All right, inbounds plays, sure, come back. Find the ball however you can. Make a delayed secondary run for the winger. I like that. That's good. All right, over here. All right, inbounds play. You're a little lower, but here's the deal. All right, on this play, you started low. I think we'll zoom in here in a second. You see, you started low by their center mid. All right, and then what you did was once the ball went past, you sprinted into the space, and that gave you the goal. Right, spring into that space. But when we watch this play right here, similar kind of situation. Throw goes up the field, boom, and here comes to Gabe, and you see how you're not sprinting into that space? How are you not following this ball? Because look, boom, it lands right there. But because you weren't after it, you weren't there in time to make the play. All right. So you got to get high. If you're going to come short for a bit, that's fine. Get high as quick as you can because we need you up there. All right. And then I think this is one of the main last ones here I want to talk about, but it's just the difference between center forwards who understand the job and talented players who play center forward. Because that's what you are. You're a talented player playing center forward. You're not a center forward playing center forward. And I say that because when you talk about ODP, what are they looking for? They're looking for these little things I'm talking about. They're looking for you to have a body on that center back, okay, and cause him problems. And when you win this ball and you're facing backwards, not trying to turn, but playing it to one of your teammates, right? You could have touched this over to Carson. You could have touched this again wide here, maybe found Joseph. But by trying to turn on the center back, you're losing the ball. This happens all the time. Okay? And you're a much better player than that. All right? But we got to do the simple center forward stuff. Let me show you the other team's center forward. So this is that team that beat us. Look what the center forward's doing from the jump. Okay? First thing he does is, as the ball's in the air, all right, he's looking. See that? Where's Kintu? Because he wants to get his body on Kintu, so Kintu can't make a play on that ball. And he does. I think it's a handball there, right? And he helps win the ball for his team, and now they're on the offensive, okay? And again, here, similar kind of situation. Here goes the ball long. Here he is. See, he's checking on Kintu. Control with the chest. He's scanning, holding Kintu off with his body, and getting the ball on the ground. Is he doing a weird karate kick right now? No. He's controlling the ball, driving into that space. Shouldn't have made that cut. He's not the greatest center forward, but yeah, here we go. He wants to switch that play. Look at it took him a while. He should have been playing it here, but either way, he gets the switch off, and then look how quickly he gets back high. Boom. He gets back up into that center region as quick as he can. Okay? Again, find the center back, be more physical than he is, body him, find a way to switch the ball to your wingers or center mids, drop it to your center mids like he does here, and now you're in business. Okay? That's center forward play, proper center forward play. So here, again, another long kick. There you are. We're running to meet it, but you're misunderstanding the point. You want to run to meet him. Okay? But either way, because you're there, it causes chaos, and Gabe almost gets a look right there because of you, which is great. And I love this drop pass to Caden. Again, you're a quality soccer player, bud. That's a good play. But what I'll tell you is, if you can contest those long balls from that center back, we stand a much greater chance of success, right? So good play there. All right. Here you are. Oh, so this is when we're talking about playing against, oh Lord, playing against four backs. So here's one defender, one defender, one defender, and one defender. Okay. Our wingers should find these gaps, much like Mason has, between their center back, right back, left back. So if the wingers can find the gaps, there's our right winger. Okay, and then Gabo here, he's a little bit far outside, but that's okay. And then if you can occupy two center backs by yourself, okay, it's going to open up so much for us, which is what you do here essentially. Okay, so both center backs now have to be cognizant of you because you're in between them. When you receive it, they both close on you, and now Mason is able to play this ball to Gabe. Now, a better ball in front of him towards the goal, Gabe might have been scoring here. Okay, but either way, look, now Gabe's one-on-one with the defender, okay, and he gets off a shot. All right, all because you're occupying those two center backs and staying high. Okay, it's a very selfless position, center forward. All right, and oh my goodness, can I just say this is the most glorious thing? I'll take it back. Gabe's pass was nice, but your pass to him might have been better. Look at this, dude. Did y'all get this on camera? Look at that side foot. Boom, glancer between the two players. This would have put us 3-1 down and probably on the way to tying this game, possibly taking it to a win. And Gabe just takes too big a touch right here. And I mean, he could slide there maybe and poke it over him, but it's a dangerous play. I get it. And either way, we lose the chance. But dude, when I tell you right here, look how you're high, you're on their center back, the ball comes in, and because you're on their center back and you're high, it gives us the opportunity to make that touch. So pretty. Similar situations happen in other parts of the game, okay? Where again you're high and it gives us opportunities. Okay, lovely. Look at this. And your wingers can play you through too. Yeah, I think you were just kick. I don't know. It's a tight call. You could probably be called off. You could probably be called on there. So it's unfortunate. But when you go in like this, we always say when the keeper comes out, what you're supposed to do, bud? Drive around him. If you just dribble to the left, or just touched it to Tristan, that would have been a goal, assuming he wasn't offside. But we got to get better with our finishing. That's something you can definitely work on, practicing with the finishing. Okay, continuing here. Remember I said being high is better? Well, here you are. You're on their center back, but you're a little bit low. So when Gabe plays you this ball, you see how you're not really connected to their center back? All right? And as a result, when he plays this ball, this is what Atlanta Fire would do to us too. You and Gabe would try all these 1-2s. Their center back would read it. See, he's not dumb. He knows where you're going with that. And if you do that saucy little flick, it's going to come to nothing. That better be a left foot play into his path. Because honestly, if you'd played this ball in front of Gabe, even if this guy guessed it, he wouldn't have got there. Gabe's too fast, and that would have been a goal. Like that's how tight these lines are, guys, between us scoring lots of goals and us not. Okay, It's just the decisions, the spacing we're taking, because now we're playing better, smarter defenders. Look at the good jockeying against Gabe here. See, other teams have gotten better, right? So now we have to get better. We have to be more clinical, right? Know our stuff, right? You either know if you're attached to the center back, if your hand's on at center back, you know he's backing up, and you would know that you could probably turn here and play in Mason instead, or you would know if you're looking to get your hand on him, he's going out into Gabe's space. I got to play the ball a little bit further out so we can get around him. But we don't do it. We try to be fancy, and we get nothing. Okay, got to be smart there. Over here, all right. So when it comes to things I want you to work on, I want you to work on your breakaways and your finishing on breakaways. Have your dad come out sometimes, and you dribble around him. Have your dad as a goalie. Have your dad stay in the goal sometimes, and you dribble on a breakaway and shoot and finish. And then other things you can do here. We got look at this shot, right? That's not you. You kicked harder shots when you were 7. But why is this shot so hard? Because number one, you work your butt off to win it back. Beautiful. You touch it out into your path, but you got to learn how to generate power. All right. With what we call no backlift. So basically, right here, as soon as you get the ball at your feet, you got to whip your hips. You see how low your foot's too low? Your foot should be up at your hip level so that you can really get that torque required to put enough power on that shot. I promise you, you've got that shot. The problem is you don't have the technique for that shot. Okay? The technique, by that I mean you can do that at a drop of a hat. You've done it so many times. And I would say this would be a simple little drill to do. Put a bunch of balls out in the box, have him do one little touch sideways, shift it out, and then smash. He's got to be leaning, say you're leaning slightly backwards, you got to be leaning forward into that shot. Okay? And you got to be torquing, not torquing, you don't want to do that. You want to be torquing that those hips, all right, and really getting that leg back. See, the leg doesn't come back far enough. That's like a punch. If you don't pull your arm back, you can't make a good punch. Okay, so little things to work on with technique there for shooting. I think this is probably the last one, and it's a similar kind of situation here. Again, great feet, great cut. Too many people, but what you want to do here is practice this last move here in front of the guy. Touch, shoot. Your touch was just a little bit too big to get off the shot, but you almost did. That's it. That's the center forward's lot. Be high, be physical. When you get it in the box, quick touch, quick shot. And one thing we'll practice at some point is learning how to cut this ball back through the defender's legs into the far post. See how he spreads his legs there? If you cut that ball back through his legs, so I can find the spot. So what advanced forwards like Premier League ones will do, and this is my favorite thing, is you drive him this way, you make him stick his foot out like you're kicking it in this post, and instead you cut it back through his legs into the far post. It's a pretty goal if you can squeeze it. Anyways, that's it, man. And just so you know, I know everyone was down because losing and the weather was bad, but you should be very proud of yourself for how awesome a player you are, how good a leader you are out there too, and how much effort you put into everything. So thank you, buddy. All right, I'll see you later. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But oh, I should probably summarize real quick. The main thing is, again, before games, review positioning, practice boxing out. All right. So when the ball's in the air, practice you finding the defender, getting a body next to him, and bodying him off the ball. And I want to stress this: control the ball. Again, D, throw the ball in the air to him and let him get it on the ground as quickly as possible. Okay? Because if he's standing there and the ball's bouncing and it's going up and he's kicking with his foot, we are losing. I guarantee you every game where our players do that. All right. Instead, what I want to see is I want to see them using their chest, their stomach, their thighs, get the ball on the ground as quickly as they can. Put their foot on top of it, something. Okay. Practice that with him. Okay. Controlling the ball, boxing out, review position before games. And then lastly, y'all should be doing this, to be honest, every week. Right. I mean, think about how often you shoot a basketball to practice for basketball, but like, do we shoot that often? Because the answer is no. But you know who does shoot like that? All these Atlanta teams, like not the teams, but the players in their individual training sessions, they're getting at least 50 shots a session. That's probably per week. And that's where we have to be if we're going to stay with them, right? That's why they're getting better and we seem to be treading water. Technical skill. Got to put in the time. right? Even if you're doing like just 10, 15 shots a day, practicing his technique. Because I promise you, Caden is not a big guy, but I think he can kick it harder than Jaden. Why? Technique. All right, technique is everything. You know that from basketball. All right, you gotta have it if you're gonna be able to do what you want to do because the brain is there. Jaden's brain, his mind, is creative, inventive, talented, athletic, all of it. But his technique will fail him as well as his positioning, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Anyways, I hope that all makes sense. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to me whenever. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.